And I'm like ducking like down and I'm thinking like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? And next to me is another fence, and
welcome. I'm Cheryl with All Things Cheryl Snell. Here on my channel, I talk about narcissistic abuse, faith, God, and life. In this video, I am going to discuss what intuition is and how to know when you're experiencing it. If you like this video or any of my other videos, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel my channel could benefit you. This also lets YouTube know my videos are worth sharing with other viewers. What is intuition and how do you know when you're experiencing it? These are both great questions I am going to answer and also give you an example from my own personal life. Let's look at the definition of intuition. A natural ability or power that makes it possible to know something without any proof or evidence. A feeling that guides a person to act a certain way without fully understanding why. Something that is known or understood without proof or evidence. Have you ever met someone for the first time and instantly knew they were a good person? Or the complete opposite happened and everything inside of you screamed, "Caution, caution," or "Danger, danger." This knowing of information is considered intuition. You don't have any hardcore facts to prove this person is good or has evil intentions, but everything inside of you just knows. On the other hand, let's say your husband or wife makes a protein shake every single day using Arbonne's plant-based protein powder. He or she never wavers and is extremely committed to living a healthy lifestyle and expresses their love for Arbonne's products and what the company stands for. If someone were to ask them if they would be interested in trying another brand of protein powder, you already know the answer would be no. Knowing they will say no isn't intuition. Your hardcore facts are seeing their consistency every single day and hearing their love for Arbonne's products. I am going to give you an example from my own personal life. I am going to tell you a story where I really had to rely on my intuition to get me through it. And had I not, I may not be here today. I was around 18 years old. So this is going to take us way back to the end of 1998 to the beginning to middle of 1999. And a friend of mine had moved a couple towns over from where I lived here in Texas. And I gave her a ride home, and the following morning I got up early and I drove home. Well, I broke down on the way home, and it was early in the morning, like 6:30 early. And there's no cars out, and I'm on a highway, so it's like 2 lanes going this way, 2 lanes going the other way. And so no houses, just there's nobody around. It's dead. And I'm thinking, what am I gonna do? Cell phones were not a big thing at that time, so I didn't even have a cell phone. And so I'm sitting there like, what am I gonna do? So I get out and I start walking because I'm like, that's really my only option. And I'm looking for houses, and again, I don't find anything. Well, on the other side of the highway, this guy in a truck stops. And I didn't have any like good or bad feelings at this moment.
but I just kind of like stayed in the middle of the highway, and he like offered to go make a phone call for me. And I said, okay, like call my mom. And when I went to give him my mom's phone number, he was like, hold on just a second and let me get my pen from my Bible. And that's where the intuition happened. And in that moment, I just like instantly knew that he was not to be trusted. And it wasn't necessarily, I'm gonna say like those exact words, but it was just something by like, let's say those words, the way he said it. And it just, again, like intuition is just something you like instantly know. So in that moment, I instantly knew like he is not to be trusted. So I gave him my mom's phone number, and I thought that's fine because at least, you know, help would hopefully be like on the way if he really does go and call. So he is off to go do that. And I am thinking like, okay, I really need to get some help. And I'm still like walking the highway. I cannot find anybody. And he ends up coming back, and he was like, again, like on the other side of the highway. And he told me, we have this like, I guess, I don't know what you call it, like a code word in our family. And he said that. So I knew 100% that he had spoke to my mom. So I knew help was on the way. Well, he asked me if I wanted him to stay. And I told him, I said, no, I said, that's fine. Like you can go, like I'm good. And so anyway, so then again, like I'm on the side of the highway. Well, he like takes off, and I see him put on his blinker to turn around. And I thought, initially when I saw him, he was headed this way on the other side of the highway. So the only reason he would be turning back around would be to come for me. I'm freaking out. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? So I needed to hurry up and do something before he actually made the turn. So there's like, again, like just nothing. There's nothing but like trees. Well, there's this fence. So I jumped the fence, and the grass was kind of tall. I would say at least a couple feet. And so I jumped the fence, and then like I kind of ran back a little bit, and there was this tree. So I am literally ducking behind this tree, like in the grass, and he did pull over, and he came up to that gate. And or the fence, it's like a fence or a big like metal gate. I don't know exactly what you would call it, but something like that. But he went up to it, and I'm like ducking like down, and I'm thinking like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? And next to me is another fence, and I don't know what kind of animal was next to me. I should know, but I don't. And if it were any other day, I'm sure I would have been extremely scared of that animal. But in this moment, that animal and we were gonna be friends. And I already kind of like mentally told it, like, hey, if this guy comes over the fence, then I need to go over this fence because I have got to keep a distance from him. So anyway, so I am still like ducked down behind this tree, and he is really like looking for me. And if I am remembering correctly, because this again is kind of some years ago, that he was like, hey, I feel like he was calling. But anyways, so I am freaking out, and he finally leaves, and I thought, oh, thank you, Jesus. Well then, so when I kind of knew it was clear, I jumped the fence again, and I like went over like to the highway, and I looked down because my car was kind of a distance down. Well, he actually parked like right behind, no, I think it was right in front of my vehicle, put his tailgate down and sat there. And when I saw that, I said, oh my gosh, like from the moment when I had that feeling, when I was like, no, like he is not to be trusted, I knew. And he already asked if I wanted him to stay, and I said no. No means no. And I knew. I was like, oh goodness. So I went like further up the highway so he couldn't see me, and I am trying to flag down people. And I am like screaming, and I'm like, help, help. Well, nobody is pulling over. But good thing that traffic was starting to pick up, so at least people were out on the highway. And finally, this country guy, like in this big truck, and he's hauling cows, like pulls over. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, I only have minutes because I know my mom is on the way. And if she goes down there, he may try to do the same thing to her that he did to me, and she might fall for it. And she's handicapped, so I thought she can't really defend herself. I mean, unless she's gonna use her arms and she's really strong. But I thought, like, I've got to get help. So the country guy, he like rolls the window down. And honestly, in that moment, I had to rely on my intuition. But I instantly, like I knew I could trust him. And so I actually just got in his vehicle and I told him like what was going on, and he had his cell phone, so he called the cops. And a Texas state trooper came out, and so I stayed with the country guy in his truck, and the trooper like went down to my vehicle. And when the trooper came back, this is what he said, and I totally knew my intuition was so right on. But he said that he ran the guy's information and that he doesn't have like a criminal history, and I don't even think he had a ticket. But this is what the cop said, that even though he may not have had like a background or anything like that, he said that is one strange guy. And I looked at him and I said, honestly, I knew that from the time when he pulled over. And like, I didn't mind giving him my mom's phone number, but when he said, give me, or just a second, let me get the pen from my Bible. I said, when he said that, like, I knew it was just like that intuition. So in this situation that I was in, I really had to rely on my intuition. And had I not, who knows, I may or may not be here today. So when you have your intuition, definitely 100% always listen to your intuition.
If you tap into your intuition and really learn to listen to it, it can and will direct you in every decision you make.
The more you use it, the more you strengthen it.
Consistency is key to anything you want to improve. I encourage you to really listen to what your intuition is telling you. If you are new to this or just want to strengthen your intuition, make a point to journal what your first impressions are of the new people you meet. If you instantly know they are a good person or something just doesn't feel right, write it down. As you get to know these people and see their true colors, you will see how closely these first impressions are with who these people truly are. With time, you will build confidence in listening to your intuition. It will lead and guide you as you travel through life. It's one of the ways God speaks to us.
It's one of the ways God speaks to us. It's one of the ways God speaks to us.
I hope this video helped you in some way. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below and what your thoughts are on what is intuition and how do you know when you're experiencing it. If you like this video or any of my other videos, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel my channel could benefit you. This also lets YouTube know my videos are worth sharing with other viewers. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.